Yo, hey guys, Beast, back with some more Beastly content, and today I am going to be doing some more Ghoul Rebirth. So, today this is a quickly little beginner's guide. I actually had a couple comments that were like, I don't know what to do in this game, Beast, help! So, I figured I'd really quickly just, drop a beginner's guide over this. So, first things first, I'm going to cover the simplest thing, and that's characters and summons. So, there are two types of summonable units. There are normal units, and there are dispatch units. You can tell the difference between them by seeing either if there's a square or a circle on them. If there's a circle, they're dispatch. Square, they are normal units. So the next thing to do is team building. I'm going to just quickly cover team building. Now I know what a lot of people say, oh, there's no real team building to this game. And you guys, you can go, get out of here. But anyway, there's sort of team building to this game in the case that you still need to stick your most HP / most defense units as well as your hardest hitters up front, and then everything else is just kind of leftovers in the back that may get swapped out. Maybe you'll stick a stunner in the back so you can swap it out, or not a stunner, but a paralyzing unit in the back so you can swap it out during the battle, paralyze the enemy, and then toss it back behind. But for the most part, you want your hardest hitters with the most HP and most defense up front while your weaker units hide in the back. Because right now, the only type of units that are in game are units that attack the front of the, your front units. There's no one in the game that attacks the back. Now, later on, they may release it to where there's a unit that attacks the back row units. But right now, it's only front row. So, yeah, that's basically team building. The next thing is upgrading your units. Now, there's a couple things you can do to upgrade your units. One is leveling them up. And how do you level them up? Well, you can go into the character section, or the team section, go to upgrade. You click your character you want to collect, or select, and you use these little ward books. And these books can be used to level you up, and you get them from a very specific ward. This ward drops these books, and you can use these books to level your characters up all the way. You definitely need to go farm this ward if you want to level up your characters really quickly. You farm the ward up, you'll instant level 1 or level 80 your units, and then the next part of unit upgrading is weapon mods, upgrading your weapon for the unit. Now, this is done by farming up this material. You can use the upgrade the level of the weapon, and it increases different stats. It adds little effects to the units. It's different per unit, and yeah. I have a whole video over weapon upgrades down below if you want a way more in-depth guide of that. But yeah, check that out. Also, for duplicates of characters, you may not realize this, but if you have duplicates of characters, go ahead and feed them into your character. It raises the mastery level. 5 characters into a unit will equal 100% mastery level, and every 20 mastery, you get some sort of stat boost. It either increases the skill, adds something to the skill, either it causes the skill to cause bleed, the skill could start causing paralysis, etc. It's very, very useful. Always put your duplicates into your unit so that you can get more dupes. You can also raise mastery level using little stimulants. However, I would not use a stimulant until you're at least level or 20% on mastery. So once you have 1 dupe in, you can use stimulants, because then each stimulant will give you a 4% boost, making the cost of stimulants used to 100% way, way less. You can go from spending 20 stimulants to get 20% to spending 5 stimulants to get 20%. Completely different. Just make sure you have 1 dupe in your character before you worry with stimulants. And even still, it's hard for me to tell you to spend stimulants, just in case you pull a duplicate of that character that you're using stimulants on anyway. But anyway, on to the next thing is how to acquire Kaku gems and the use of Kaku gems as well as gold. Kaku gems are used for summoning, that's pretty obvious, as well as just refreshing a couple of different things, but mainly summoning. You can get more Kaku gems by doing story. I have a full video guide over other ways of getting more Kaku gems down below if you want to check that out. Very useful video. But yeah, if you want to check that out, that's hiding down below. Anyway, on to the next thing is the use of gold. So gold can only be used during dispatches, and you can only do dispatches during territory wars. So the only time you should ever even worry about having gold is if you're preparing for territory wars or something like it, if something else releases in the future that uses gold. The only current use of gold right now is dispatches, and it can just be used to, 1, raise the success rate of your dispatch, but also there's a bare minimum price of gold that you need to have in order to send out a dispatch. So that's what gold's for. If you want to know more about dispatches and territory wars and territory war points farming, I do have a couple territory war videos down below that explain territory wars itself, dispatches. It explains how to get more territory war points, and everything. I do suppose that as well now for the beginning, beginner's guide, it's not anything crazy. It's just a quick little guide for beginners. I went over summonable units, the 2 types of units. I went over team building, upgrading your units, how to get more Kaku gems, though very briefly, and the uses of Kaku gems and gold. And yeah, I do suppose that's all for now. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like on the video if you did enjoy it, and keep it peace. I am out. See you.